is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
The Memorial Day event starts now at Florida's #1 volume Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy a new Subaru today with financing as low as 0% APR, or lease a new Outback for only $278 a month. Shop SPPLove.com.
Hi, this is Jeff, formerly of Welton Rayon, PA, a longtime sponsor of the Big O Show. Now that Dan retired, I opened Welton Associates. I started this firm with a simple belief: when you hire a lawyer, you should be able to talk to your lawyer. For nearly 30 years, I have helped Floridians through serious legal problems. At my firm, you get direct access to me, clear communication, and a lawyer who knows the details of your case. I believe technology should make legal representation easier, not more impersonal. At Welton Associates, you get direct access to me, clear answers, personal attention, and real advocacy. Look us up at weltlawfirm.com or give me a call at 954-966-4646. Consultations are always free, and let me know that you found me at the Big O Show.
There's just one place to enjoy your Acura Summer of Performance event, Acura of Pembroke Pines. So hit the road in the new ADX, $289 a month. Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Alrighty, good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll on the show. Coming to you live from Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7, right on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Come on out, join us. We'll be out here for a couple of hours. Give me a thumbs up Make sure the audio is good. Need to know if the audio is good in the hood. Give me that thumbs up. How are we sounding? We sounding good here? Let's see. How we doing? I want to make sure because this is kind of a big day for me in a way. Thanks to Sean, of course. Good. So. Big Johnson says, all right. J Bird says, thumbs up. Why are so? Is it sounding bad? All right. Let me see. Let me see if I can pop it up on my phone and see if it's sounding bad. Because maybe we're getting, or maybe it's just, you never know. Let me see. No. I mean, my voice sounds like shit, but that's normal. That's that. If that's the part you're getting confused, well, Costa, you can't do anything about the voice. I can't change that. But it looks like it's audible, right? There's sound, but it sounds muffed. Somebody's getting muffed out there. Okay, I have no idea. Well, hopefully it'll. Let me see what what Sean says. He says pictures off center. It's not okay. I see. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. So yeah, it's not going to be studio. That's right, because we are out in the open. Oh, I see what you're saying about it. All right. Let me see if the picture adjusts. It's interesting because what I'm watching live is not what's coming out on YouTube. That's probably what it is. So there's. Okay. I don't know if it's adjusted. Now I'm moving it, but there we go. I think I centered it now. Okay. Even though it doesn't look centered to me, it's centered there. At least that's what it looks like. Are we centered now in your picture? Although if you have me on picture, man, don't you just want to put audio? Oscar says a lot better. Okay, good. All right. All right, we got it going on. Anyway, welcome aboard on a beautiful Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. It is day number 19,169 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. Day number 8,952 since the Miami Hurricanes were national champions. And day number 4,765 since the Miami Heat were world champions. Michelle Kaufman will join us in a little while, so we'll talk a little football with her. We'll talk about the World Cup. We'll talk about the USA demise and what happened to them. So we'll get her thoughts on all of that. And, just to add a little more sauce to the whole USA thing. In the end, the United States of America will probably always end where they finished this time around, right at the 16 mark, around a 16. They rarely ever get past that because they never have what? They don't have a star. And until you're able to develop stars in that sport, we do it in every other sport, but we don't do it in soccer. We've developed some pretty good players, but we've never developed a star. And that's what you see with Norway right now. That's a star that is born right there for them. Obviously Messi, obviously Mbappe. You've got to get a United States of America player that is a world-class player. Not a good player, not a guy that is a good supporting player, even in the EPL or Serie A or whatever. No. It has to be a star. It has to be an American that goes overseas and he's leading a team where he is one of the best in the English Premier League, one of the best in Serie A. That's what we need to develop. And until we develop that, I just don't see us ever taking that next step, because here's the problem that we have. We're a broken record now. I am about to be 60 years old, and I keep hearing the same bullshit since the 90s. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost there. The same bullshit that people are talking about is the same stuff we talked about with our teams in the 90s when we thought we were going to turn the corner. When we thought we had a pretty good coach and we had a pretty good team, and we thought, okay, this was the basis. This was going to grow. This was going to become something because Kobe Jones was a name, because Alexi Lalas was a name, because Eric Winalda was a name. So all of a sudden, we thought we were going to start developing something from there. Never happened. We never developed a superstar. That's been our problem. And we're America, dude. Whether it's what's it called over there, Silicon Valley, whatever it is, we're the best at it. Whether it's making movies, we're the best at it, and that's what we do all the time. What's the best stock market in the world? The one that's here. We have not really focused on trying to become the best in soccer. And that's really our main problem. We're not going to get there with a whole bunch of good guys. No, we need somebody to break out and become a superstar. We need our Tiger Woods. Tiger was busted through, and all of a sudden now he got a lot of people in the black community involved in golf because he became kind of like the Pied Piper. And people were following him, and young people were following him. And all of a sudden, you got people that would never like, golf. All of a sudden, they're liking it. Why? Because young people like Tiger. Because, of course, the black community loves Tiger. All of a sudden, you've got it creates a craze. And then the TV ratings go through the roof, and the money purses go to kingdom come because of Tiger. We need that in soccer. We need that guy that we all can get behind in that American way, that he's one of ours, that he's one of the best. We've never been able to say that. We never will be able to say that. And that's our problem. That's it. Until we have that dude, we develop them on the women's game. In the women's game, we've had some great ones. But we don't develop it in the men's game. And until one of those cats becomes a superstar, that Brazilian kids are buying his jersey, that English kids are buying his jersey, that German kids are buying his jersey, when a guy like that busts through, and that's when the United States of America will become a superpower in soccer. If they don't, they never will, dude. They never will. That's just kind of the way it goes. And if we don't develop it, it won't happen. But I do have an answer. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, we got all these oligarchs doing all kinds of evil shit with their money and doing all kinds of terrible things in our country. We need, an Elon Musk to just come out there and say $100 million to the first American family that develops an American superstar soccer player. And that's it. And families will focus on developing an American superstar soccer player. And they'll tell their kids, nah, forget ceramics, get into soccer. Nah, forget being a doctor, get into soccer. That's it. That's what we want. Forget being a stupid broadcaster. That's an idiot's job anyway. Go be a soccer player. Make the family $100 million. You're going to be a superstar, so you'll make your money. But the family, cashes in for producing that superstar. So that's what we need. We need Elon Musk. We need Bezos. We have all the best billionaires, right? We have the only trillionaire in the world. right? Well, then let's go. We've got one of the best has to go out there and say, here's $100 million to the first family that develops an American superstar football player. It's about the only way we're going to do it. Got to put some kind of carrot dangling out there, because since it's not our sport, it's just a bunch of rich kids and their parents getting the opportunities, and they're not good enough to end up playing soccer. This way, you and I, especially people my age, man, we look stupid. Because it's like the sport is, as I told you before, the sport has grown leaps and bounds in our country. Oh my God, it has grown. But the men's national team has made no progress from the 90s. None. Nada. Nay. And that's the facts. And why? We got no stars. Kind of like the Heat before they got Giannis. No stars. Kind of like that. By the way, we are here at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Come on out and join us. We'll be out here for a couple of hours having some fun. Michelle Kaufman will join us shortly. So we'll talk a little football with her, of course. And you can get on out here, get some great deals on Toyota vehicles. I'm right now next to a Prius, which is just, these Priuses are out of control. I got to tell you. The Corolla LE right now, 2026, you can get it for $199 a month, 36-month lease right now. The Camry LE, you can get it for $269 a month, 36-month lease. The Tacoma, that is a sharp-looking vehicle. Tacoma SR5, $279 a month. The 2026 Corolla Cross, $279 a month. The RAV4, that thing is just absolutely badass. $299 a month for 36 months. And, of course, the Toyota 4Runner, beautiful vehicle, $369 a month for 36 months. Get on down here, see Herbie Lopez. Tell them that I sent you, and they will take care of you here at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Don't forget, folks, our friends at Caneswear. You can visit them at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off online or in person. And also, if you spend over $99, you will get free shipping. They got anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. Dolphins gear, Panthers gear, Marlins gear, Inter Miami gear, Miami Heat gear, all kinds of stuff. All right? So go see Brett and Jeff and Jack and Ken Graff, all the great people out there at Caneswear. Good people. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. And in the World Cup yesterday, Argentina survives on what could be another FIFA dirty call, but they survived 3-2 against Egypt. Egypt is the place to be. Egypt. Messi, by the way, killer score in the 83rd minute. How he got that ball off the bounce. That was nasty. Switzerland, they eliminate. Didn't I tell you yesterday? I'm not going to sit here and, I'm shocked that Switzerland won. I told you this Colombia team there's been better Colombia teams. It's not a great Colombia team that, oh my God, they easily should win. Or no, dude, they were the favorites, but Switzerland winning was not a shock yesterday, and they won in PKs 4-3. They move on. Colombia goes home. It's a long walk back through air vents. That's all I can say. No games today in the World Cup. Thursday, France takes on Morocco, and Friday, Spain taking on Belgium. Saturday, Norway taking on England, and at 9 p.m., Argentina against the Swiss. So that's what's going on in the in World Cup action. Dolphins training camp, by the way, will start this month, July 21st. Rookies will report. Vets will report on the 28th. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. And if your company, corporation, school, entity, whatever you need custom printing and embroidery, hats, shirts, uniforms, whatever it is, reach out to Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. So good. So good. So good. All right, folks. What else do we have to talk about in the world of deportes? Besides talking a little U.S. soccer and how disappointing they are, which just I don't really understand it, but I don't know. We just can't really get that star. So what happened yesterday in the Argentina-Egypt game? The whole thing with Trump getting involved and getting Balongoon back, which, again, it was a wrong that got righted, but it was done in a dirty fashion. And especially when FIFA has already shown some favoritism to Trump as it is by giving him some, BS crap award and all that. What happened yesterday? That penalty, and again, it's a wrong that got righted. But it's not normal that with VAR they go all the way back to a penalty they didn't call because it resulted in a goal. And I can completely understand Egypt feeling pissed off and cheated yesterday. I really do. I can understand it. They have a case because there's a dirtiness and a favoritism that kind of looks like it. It was a penalty. Well, why didn't you just call it right there and then? Why did we wait till there was a score to then have the reaction and then go back? It just doesn't give it. It's not a good look. Again, even though it's a wrong that should have been righted, but how many penalties are called that are wrong? How many penalties that are not called that should have been called? I mean, it happens all the time, right? Shouldn't be called. And then yet, what happens? And then that doesn't get overturned. That doesn't get overlooked. But when our president gets involved and when Argentina and Messi are involved against Egypt, it just doesn't look good. I don't know if you guys have an opinion on it, how you saw it, how you watched it. So impressive the way Egypt played. They played their asses off. For them to, control the game at times and take the lead, and not only that, block Messi's PK. You're like, what the hell is this? And then you get a second goal, and they had another goal called back. If I get Egypt being pissed off, even though it should have been called, it was a clear penalty on Egypt. But dude, do your job the right way the first time, so we don't have to get to this controversy and this problem. And then there's a dirtiness to the whole thing. And it just doesn't seem like it's fair play. And that part takes the fun out of sports too. If things are rigged, or you're trying to rig it, not a good look, man. Not a good look. But then again, FIFA has been always a corrupt organization, just like the Olympic organization, and none of us really actually are surprised in the end. But it's pretty, distasteful to do what you did yesterday. Let me see what we got here on the chat board. Visit our friends at Sloman's, 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. At Sloman's Home Shield, we are in 49 of 50 different states. Don't forget, You can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Many ways to support the show. Hit the like button. Very important you hit the like button and get the algorithms going. You can visit our amazing sponsors like Toyota of Hollywood, which they've got a great Toyota of Hollywood Pirates Harbor theme going on all throughout. Or, of course, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo. Send in your questions, comments, insults. You can use the QR code. Or, of course, it's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Oscar Rojas, good afternoon to you, sir, out in Melbourne. Dolphin Dave, yes, sir, 3 weeks away. NorCal is firing it up. Lenny Pena. Let's see. He says, will Sean have any Wrestlers B-Days for us today? Nope, Sean's not with us today. Sean no longer will be with us on, maybe he'll show up on some things every once in a while, but he's, I'm going to put it this way. He's moved on to greener pastures, and I'm happy for him overall. So, and this show is going to go into a transition anyway, as eventually it'll be a little bit more mobile, and I will have to be a little bit more solo. So that's kind of the way it's going to go a little bit more nowadays. But, Sean and I are still in contact. He was here with me, helping me, set all this up. Actually, without Sean, I'd be lost. You know what I'm saying? But I'm actually really happy for him because he's got something really good going on, and that's what counts. Okay, that's what counts. Let's see. True Fin fan in the house. Are the Miami Heat trying to become the Leon Medical Center team? Them and the Warriors are trying to, whatever, bro. It's just it's sadly it's Riley and a desperation mode now, is what it is. That's what we're dealing with. Riley in desperation mode. Marlins fan says the Heat team is old as F. And wait a minute, I lost him here. Let's see, where is he here? Oh man, where did I lose Marlins fan here? Sorry about that, sir. Why did I lose the Marlins fan? Did you kill your did it disappear? Oh, there it is. The Heat team is old as F and trying to bring in the egomaniac. Nah, they're not going to get. We talked about that, bro. They're not going to get LeBron. I just don't see that. Jaybird in the house. USA didn't come to play yesterday and got schooled by a better team. Still, we have a team to build on with the Olympics 2 years away. I'm not believing that anymore, Jay. That's the same shit we've been saying since the 90s. I'm not believing that anymore. If you don't have a star, you're not going anywhere. So when I see a star, then I'll tell you, hey, the U.S. team has got a shot. That's where I'm at from now on. If I don't see a star develop out of the United States, I'll tell you we're going to be the same thing that we've been for many, many years. Middling and no better than 16 and never cross that threshold. It's the same shit over and over again. No star, no advancing. I'm convinced of that. Gus 1388, Alexis Palenzuela, Jeff in Long Island, Big Johnson I see there, Skylar Tipton out of Chicago, Rosendo, let's see, Andrew, will you start talking Yes, that's the only time. See, I really live the best Marlins life than all of you out there. I don't give a shit what happens every day. You guys lose your mind because they pulled a guy because he was about to get a perfect game. I don't give a shit. I don't care if they win or lose. If you happen to make the playoffs, then I will pay attention to you and we'll mention them. We'll put them on the update and maybe we'll even do an interview or two. If they're actually playing in the playoffs and all that, we'll pay attention. And if you don't make the playoffs, I don't care. Some of you will be disappointed because you're trying to follow an organization that's trying to do everything on the cheap. You know what I mean? And right now they're defying the odds and all that. But as I always say, dude, I don't want anything to do with Moneyball. Moneyball teams like Tampa Bay, like Oakland, and now the Marlins, I want nothing to do with those pieces of shit. They don't want to compete. They want to just try to keep young guys and try to play the numbers game and try to see if they can beat the system, is what they're trying. And Tampa and Oakland have been doing it forever, and they have no championships to show for it. They come up with decent seasons. Who cares, dude? I don't care. I'm not here. I want a team that wants to try to win the championship. If your owner's not trying to win a championship, then I'm not going to, fork over my feelings, my money, my emotion, my time. I find that to be ridiculous. Following a team that has no commitment to winning, you're just hoping that luck pops in. So, then do what I do. I won't pay attention to you during the regular season. I don't give a shit whether you exist or die or whatever it is. If you happen to show up to the playoffs, then I'll watch. And I'll have the best of all worlds. I will only care about you if you're in the playoffs. If you get lucky because your little Moneyball scheme worked and you got there without using any money, then I'll do it. But you think I'm going to hang on to what you do in every game, in every inning, or every pitch, or I'm going to talk about why they should have pulled that guy, or they should have put this guy, or they should have left him in the lineup? I don't care, bro. I don't care. I laugh at you all for following this crap. That's all. I think it's a fucking joke. That's what I feel about the Marlins. I think it's a fucking joke. So yeah, I'll talk about them when they get to if they get to the playoffs, and if they don't, well then I don't give a shit either way. It doesn't matter to me, to be quite honest. I'm not sure how many times I have to explain this, but it's just like I don't care, dude. I just don't care. That's it. Walter Olivares, thank you, sir, for chiming in. Rosendo says, you're too close to my area of the woods. My workplace is really close to listen. If you want excellent Cuban food, try the Black Bean Cafe located at 712 North State Road 7. You will not regret it. Well, I do need to eat some food after this. Okay. Let me write it down now because maybe what's it called? The Black Bean Cafe. All right. I can put that bitch in the Waze and get to it right away. All right, I like it. Thank you for the tip, man. Maybe I'll go to it right after this. Let's see. True Fin says, every other country in the FIFA World Cup has soccer as its main sport. Their best athletes are playing soccer. It's in America, it's not even our top 4 sport. Our best go play. Yes, exactly. And that's what happens. And we don't invest also in trying to develop soccer players because you do have to invest. And we don't invest in trying to develop better soccer players. I've already told you this. I'd open up academies in barrios and in hoods. That's what I would be doing. In the places where the kids have very little resources, that's where I would be opening up soccer academies. And have kids come after school and find out which ones can play and find out which ones have the passion. And trust me, you will find a star. You go to American neighborhoods where you've got those neighborhoods where these street kids, they don't have jack crap and they don't have a lot of options. Give them an option, and it'd be very interesting to see what develops from all of that. But yeah, I mean, in all the other countries, that's their sport. They don't even have a second sport. Most of these countries. Let's put it that way. There's not like it's not as competitive as it is here. They have other sports, but they come nowhere close to soccer. I mean, think about it. The NFL, just the NFL alone, singular, the NFL, is the most powerful league in the world. It makes more money than any other league. So that's how crazy it is. But yeah, we've got to dedicate ourselves to it, and we don't. Cool Macy's a hammer that broke every single time. God, that was a absolutely bust overrated player. Walter Olivares, a player that Real Madrid, Barca, Man City fight for. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, Walter. When we get one of those guys, that's when the USA will advance. Elon Musk, the entrepreneur, is living the American dream. Yes, he is. That entrepreneur is living it. Oh, that's what the U.S. Soccer Federation, USL, MLS, and NWSL should be doing with the new Youth Academy footprints and having sponsors cover the cost. I know, but we don't. It's like I told you, baseball went, okay, well, let's go open up an academy in the Dominican Republic. Let's go open up an academy in Venezuela. Like, it behooves you. You know, if you're the Phillies, the Marlins don't spend any money. But if you're like other teams, yeah, dude, go open up an academy in those places. Try to find as many kids as you can in the Dominican. Hells to the yeah. Let's see. What else? Cosa in, Andrew Mann. It's rigged unless we win. Skylar Tipton, damn, losing. Sean sucks. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But I'm super happy for him. So that's really what matters. And for me personally, I'm kind of forced into a role that I need to kind of go to anyways, eventually, as I want this show to be on the road a lot more and in other countries when it's all said and done. So I'm going to need to be kind of running the show on my own and doing all the technical stuff and learning all that side of it and all that. So, yeah. I've been doing now the videos and the audio that you're listening to and cutting up the last month and a half, 2 months. That's been me, actually. That's been doing that also. So yes, I've been doing all the work, as they say. So yeah, been cranking. So it's just one of those. It's you know what? It's part of the growing process, which is a beautiful thing. Michelle Kaufman is next.
Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
All right, there she is, the one and only Michelle Kaufman. How are you doing? Good afternoon.
It's very hot. It's 90. Can you hear me okay, first of all? Yes?
I hear you perfectly, yes.
Okay. It's 95 degrees inside my car. I am outside the Inter Miami training facility where I just watched Norway's training session. Well, we got to watch 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes. And we also had an interview with their coach and with their captain. They're very spirited. At the start of the training session, they were jumping up and down. They were singing some songs. They seem to be very spirited and loose. The other news is that I guess the British tabloids had been really playing up that there's some kind of cold or flu going through the Norway camp. And their coach totally debunked that and said that is greatly exaggerated, that a few members of their staff have a cold or something, but none of the players are sick. So that was the big news to come out was that. That was the big news so far.
Yeah, and the Norway thing reminds me of what we're missing We're missing a star, Michelle. This is why you and I have been covering soccer forever here and in all levels. And since the 90s, we kept thinking, oh, we're right there, we're right there. And the one thing that we're missing, Pulisic is a nice player, but he's not a superstar. And as somebody put it, we need a guy from this country that PSG and Manchester U are fighting to sign. That kind of stuff. And until we develop that guy, that dog, I don't know if we're going to bust through the 16. There's a reason why we end there. And then you look at Norway and you look at Harlan, and it's like, okay, now you see why when you have a star, it just changes the outlook of your entire team, and everybody's confidence grows. And Norway is just an incredible example of having a difference maker on the pitch.
Yeah, it just changes the mood and the energy. I mean, look at what Messi does. It's like a switch. It's like a light switch. And when he turns on that switch, the entire team follows. And also the rest of the team doesn't want to let down that star. They all defer to that star. And Christian Pulisic never really was that star, I don't feel. I hear a lot of noise. Is that on my end or yours? I don't know.
No, that's mine. I'm at a car dealership. So, yes, I'm at Toyota of Hollywood.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think this team, the United States team, it had developed a really good spirit. I do feel that what happened with Balogun and all of the intervention and all of the overturning and all, I just cannot believe that was not a distraction. I think it was a distraction. It changed the mood. To me, that team was on the up and up. I'm not saying they would have beaten Belgium. Belgium has beaten them 7 out of 8 times now. Belgium had beaten the United States 5-2 in March in a friendly. Belgium was ranked number 8 in the world. The United States was 16. And they end up in the final 16, which is right where they were ranked in FIFA. So, the truth is Belgium was favored over the United States no matter what. But having said that, Belgium got extra motivation as if they needed it. They didn't need it. They were already a better team. They got extra motivation by everything that happened. In fact, as soon as the game ended and the score was 4-1, on their official team Twitter account, it said 4-1, overturn that. Okay? Right. This was on their minds. Their players did a Trump dance. When Lukaku scored, they did a Trump dance. So don't tell me that wasn't some motivation for them. They felt dissed. They felt that it was being rigged for the United States. They had extra motivation to beat the United States. And then from the other side, I can't believe that was not a distraction to the team and to the fans and the media. It's all anyone was talking about. In the previous 24 hours to that game, there was very little talk about the matchup against Belgium, and all the talk was about Trump and turning it over and what happened, and FIFA sending out a new press release every hour trying to explain. It, to me, everything that was being celebrated about the U.S. team and about America kind of went like, wah, wah. There was just a little bit of a deflated attitude, whereas Belgium had a reason, even more reason, to want to beat the United States. So I think it was a combination of the U.S. is not at the level yet, but also at a time when they maybe could have overcome that with an incredibly spirited performance like they had in the previous round. 10 men. They played 32 minutes with 10 men, and then they won. I know Bosnia is ranked number 61, so it's not exactly the greatest achievement. But still, they seem to have a certain spirit that was lacking. When they started this game, I did not see the same spirit. I'm just talking from my point of view.
No, yeah, I'm with you, Michelle. Remember, you can follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports. And Michelle, I still got to blame the team because you got to compartmentalize all that, but it also shows that they're not, a strong-minded team overall or good enough to kind of overcome those kind of distractions out there. So I still blame them for the loss, but I got to over on the FIFA side here. After what happened with the overturning of the red card, and you could say you're righting a wrong, which is true, but still the way it was done is not something that normally happens. And then yesterday,
no, heads of state don't get involved in FIFA decisions. That just should never have happened, and FIFA shouldn't have allowed them. And now what's happening is they've opened up a can of worms, because now other countries are gonna. What about this yellow card that Jude Bellingham
Right.
had? What about the yellow card that the French player's on? Can you please overturn that? That was a bad yellow. That was a terrible call. We need FIFA now to impose the same thing and suspend that yellow card for a year. I mean, they have now set a precedent by doing that. And if they don't do it for any other country, then it does look like favoritism. I mean, you could understand why people would be upset.
What about yesterday? I can understand Egypt being upset. You don't make
Yes.
the call on that penalty at that moment, but then
Right.
we wait till the score to then
Yeah.
use VAR to go back to that
To go
penalty.
back all the way across the field, all the way at the
That's
beginning of that.
bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit,
Right.
and that's favoritism to the U.S., who's your host, and you give the president some bullshit prize or something, and then now
And
favoritism
Messi.
to saving
Messi.
Argentina and Messi for ratings and everything else, because Egypt isn't going to bring you ratings, but Messi will bring you ratings, and it looked yesterday. So this is another
It's the
thing that FIFA
optics
has a
of it.
real
It's the right.
yeah.
It's the optics of it. It's like whatever FIFA says, whatever press conference they put out, whatever press release, the optics are bad. It looks like they're favoring the teams that they wanted to be in, and that they did a favor to the president of the United States, who's friends with Johnny Infantino, and and then yes, that they want Messi and they want Argentina. The optics are that when you start to do those kinds of things, it leads people to have reason to believe, whether it's true or not. That is what it looks like. That's the perception. That's the perception.
Yeah, no, that's kind of that's unfortunately that's what we're seeing with FIFA, and this is absolutely a bad look for them. All right, so what we've got left: France, Morocco, Spain, Belgium, Norway, England, Argentina, Switzerland. What's the finals look like to you right now?
Wow, I don't know. Well, I had said at the very beginning that Norway and Morocco, I told my daughter, in fact, early on, she was in a pool. She's like, Mom, who are a couple of teams that are maybe not ones that I'm thinking about for favorites? And I said, Morocco and Norway. I said, put Morocco and Norway in your bracket. So I hope she listened. I need to ask her. Those two don't surprise me. I mean, Morocco was in the semifinal last time, and here they are. They're in the quarterfinal now, one step from the semis again. So that team is a team that again doesn't draw the ratings, but they are a team to be reckoned with. Norway has been, they've been the underdog. Even though everyone knows they're good, everyone thinks, well, they're good, but at some point they're going to lose. But they're going up against England now. The England team has really had to battle to get to this point, but they look pretty good. I still think France, in my mind, France and Argentina, to me, Argentina, again, that's a team that they barely beat Cape Verde. They barely beat Egypt. I thought initially that they had a very easy draw. I thought that they actually had a favorable draw because they had Egypt. I mean, they had Cape Verde and Egypt, and I thought, that's not that hard. Maybe not on paper, but what Argentina did in those two games to fight through adversity, 2 games in a row. Messi, the man is like a magician.
She froze a little bit there. Let's see if she unfreezes. We got her like holding the glasses too, which is awesome. It's like a perfect action shot. I don't know if she's going to unfreeze. Maybe she might be talking, thinking that she's still on, and then let's see. Let's see if we get a. Let me see if because she may not know. There we go. She went out herself, And now let's see if she pops back in. Give her a second there. Remember, you can follow her on Twitter, by the way, at Kauf Sports, Kauf Sports. And make sure you check out her work there at the Miami Herald. Always doing great work and following local soccer. She also does the UM basketball team, too, which they're pretty good this year. They were pretty good. They were pretty good this past year, and they're going to be pretty good next year because it looks like Jay Lucas is recruiting his ass off. So make sure you follow Michelle Kaufman there. Hopefully we can get her back here and see if she pops in. I'll give her another minute here and see if she joins us. Don't forget, we are here at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. There she is. Let's bring her aboard. There she is. There you are. Okay.
You're not going to believe what happened. It said due to temperature, my phone turned off. Can you hear me? It said due to temperature, my phone turned off.
I got you. But you got some wind going or something.
Is there wind? In the car.
Yeah, but you got me on the AC, so we're hearing the AC blasting through the phone.
I know. I have it on the AC so that the phone will work. Okay. All right. So I only have 2 minutes. Plus, my phone is getting hot. My phone is getting hot. I am too. But anyway, you're supposed to say I'm always hot, right? Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, I know that was a bad joke. Anyway, what I was saying was, before this phone overheats again, I think that France and Argentina would still be my favorites, even though Argentina has had to fight to beat Cape Verde and Egypt. There's something about that team. You know, they've got that je ne sais quoi. Well, I do know what the je ne sais quoi is. It's number 10. Lionel Messi, as long as he's out there, he does not want his career. He doesn't want his national team career to end. And he was 10 minutes from that happening yesterday. 10 minutes away from that being the last time he plays for that beloved jersey of his that he cares about more than anything. And he did whatever he had to do to extend that run and to be able to play again. And believe me, he wants to win the Golden Boot. He wants to win another World Cup. And I would put nothing past that man. Nothing past him.
No. Definitely. And by the way, I was going to ask you, it looks like the race from the African countries and North American countries, it's not a race. It looks like the African countries are the ones that are closing the gap against the top teams, and the North American countries, whether it's Mexico, United States, or Canada, they are stuck in the same place. And we're watching a lot of African countries really grow over the years here. And, you know, Cape Verde, I can argue that Cape Verde and Egypt both outplayed Argentina in the game. They lost, but I could argue that they outplayed them overall. And
look at Senegal. What about Senegal? What about Congo? What they did to England? What about Senegal with Belgium? I mean, these teams, look, Africa.
Morocco, we got him.
Morocco making the semis already last time. You know, none of the U.S., Canada, Mexico have not made the semis. You know, the African countries have been underrepresented for far too long. This was long overdue. So for the last several World Cups, there are 55 African countries, 55, and they had 5 spots in the World Cup. Europe had 54 countries, so almost the same, 13 spots in the World Cup. So they had 13 representatives from 54 countries. Africa had 5 representatives from basically the same number of countries. Now, with the expansion of the field to 48, a lot of people criticized FIFA for that, said that it was going to dilute the competition and there were going to be a million blowouts. What has happened is Africa got 9 automatic spots, which is almost double. Plus, they got a 10th spot in the playoff by beating Jamaica. So they ended up with 10, double the number of representatives that they've had in the last several World Cups. And look what they did. They took advantage of those 10 spots. 9 of the 10 advanced. 9 of the 10 advanced to the knockout round. So yes, Africa has done an amazing job, and it is only going to continue to grow because with those performances, they're going to win prize money. They're going to be able to use that money for development and to bring other players back from France or from Holland or where they are to the countries where their parents' roots are. And this is not over. This is only going to get better for Africa.
I do have an idea for the United States. I say Musk comes out and says 100 million to the first U.S. family that produces a superstar soccer player, and then that way the world, the entire United States starts working on producing real soccer players because they want to get that $100 million. What do you think about that? What do you think about that idea? Can that get us there?
I don't know. That's a pretty crazy idea, Big O, but I don't know if that's going to do it. I don't know if that's going to do it. The culture has to change. So it has to be, look, for all these other countries, when you see the way they sing the anthem, when I see they come out for a training session, when you see the way Messi was sobbing, literally sobbing for 15 minutes, it means everything to them. It means everything to those other countries. I just don't know that level of passion, and commitment is there from athletes in any sport in our country. I don't know. I think that part is still missing a little bit. And, Pochettino has tried. He's been talking about it. He wanted them to sing. He wanted them to care more about the badge. He wanted the American fans to show up. So when the U.S. plays in U.S. cities, it doesn't feel like a road game, which it often does. I don't think we're there yet. We've gotten better. During this World Cup, I think those aspects got better. But it needs to get even higher level to match the passion that these other countries have for this sport.
Pochettino's going to.
Because I got to go write a story and I'm on deadline. But
go ahead. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
All right.
My pleasure. All right. You got it. There you go. The great Michelle Kaufman. Thank you as always.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right, folks, thank you as always for tuning in. Don't forget Welton Associates, a proud sponsor of our program. I love talking about Jeff Welt. He's been with us from day one. It's one of the reasons why we've been here for 7 years. Thanks to Jeff Welton Associates. As always, 954-966-4646. Folks, if you're dealing with personal injury, car accidents, truck accidents, motorcycle, property insurance, roof damage, hurricane damage, water intrusion, you name it, fire and smoke, bankruptcy, Chapter 7, 13, 11, you name it, debt relief options, they can help you. Reach out to them, explain your situation. The consultation's free, 954-966-4646. And remember, whenever you have any kind of damage happen to you or a car accident, the first thing we do, and it's habitual, we call the insurance company because that's what we're taught. It's the wrong thing. You call Jeff first, you call Welton Associates, they send their adjusters, and then their adjusters assess the real damage, and then they go after the insurance company. Because the insurance company is going to send their adjuster, but the adjuster's working for them, not for you. So check it out. Call them 954-966-4646 for Welt and Associates. 100 million will produce the next soccer star. I'm telling you. We'll get it done, as they say. There we go. That was weird. I took off my headset and it took me off the air. Okay. You guys got me, by the way? You guys got me? Make sure I'm back and you're hearing everything. That was weird. I took off my earpieces and the picture went out, which, what does one have to do with the other? These are things that I've got to definitely learn about. Okay. All right. We're back. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you, my brother. As always, you're the best. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Hey, how about Mario Cristobal? I thought this was actually pretty cool. I saw this story. I don't know if you guys got this story, but it's nice because it shows progress, shows a little respect to in the process. The ACC football coaching rankings by USA Today, and they've got Mario Cristobal as the number one coach in the ACC. It's pretty good. I know he obviously got to the championship game last year and had a terrific shot at it. But, you know, Miami normally doesn't get that kind of love like right away. And listen, Mario himself has still got a hurdle to cross, which is regular season, you know, brain farts. And he better not have one this year. But he has passed up Dabo Swinney. Dabo is number 2, obviously. And, you know, Dabo hasn't taken too much of a liking to NIL like he should. He's now spending some because he's been embarrassed by not spending. So he's finally spending. James Franklin from Virginia Tech is the third guy. Rhett Lashley, who beat Mario Cristobal, who outcoached his ass last year, those are the brain farts I'm talking about, is number 4. Jeff Brom, who outcoached his ass last year, is number 5. Brent Key from Georgia Tech, who actually has done a pretty good job. Manny Diaz, former Canes coach, is number 7 for Duke. Jack, this is his name, Dickert from Wake Forest is number 8. Pat Narduzzi from Pittsburgh, 9. Tony Elliott, number 10. So those are your top 10 there. And it's just really cool to see Mario getting that kind of respect. Now, you want to keep it, Mario, you need to come through this year. Because this is a year where now you're coming in with the highest expectations that the Miami Hurricanes have had in decades. It's been a long time where we felt this confident, and we've got the reasons why to feel confident. The team is really good. The recruiting has been through the roof. He continues to find top-notch talent, and he continues to find one of the best quarterbacks in the country available every single year. Beck last year, Cam the year before, and now you got Mensa. I mean, you can't ask for any more than that. Hopefully now he's hitting on the recruits, and we'll see if any of the recruits end up getting elevated, you know, next year, if Luke Nickel or whatever, moving forward. You'd like to get to a point where some of your recruits are now taking over so you can have a guy for a couple of years. Would be nice to like start a sophomore, junior, and then lose him for your senior year. Or who knows, if the guy's good enough, he could play for his junior and senior years here. And then, you know, it kind of turns the corner in his junior and senior years, but maybe he can be here for the full tilt. That would be nice. That would be really, really nice. But I thought it was a really cool article to see that. Now Mario has got to keep that. He's got to earn that bitch. Okay? Because it's been given to him, but I don't think he has earned it completely yet. This is a first-year ranking. If you come through this year, then next year you'll probably, you know, it'll become a perennial type of thing because you'll have proven that you are the best in the conference overall. All right, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can send in your questions, comments, or insults. Ocala Joe, thank you, sir, for the love on Cash App. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Says, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you for the generosity, my friend. I appreciate you for supporting us. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Send in your questions, comments, insults. We appreciate it either way. It looks like we have a couple of front runners now for DeMar DeRozan. Another 2-point player that's being talked about. And DeRozan is being mentioned for your Miami Heat. I'll tell you, it says 2 potential landing spots have gained the most chatter right now for the NBA 6-time All-Star swingman DeMar DeRozan from Sacramento. And right now, it is the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers. If LeBron is going to go there and he's going to sign a minimum deal, where's he going to go? But I will tell you this. You want to bring him over here? They need the shooting. The only problem is, ladies and gentlemen, the math still does not jive. Bam doesn't score threes. Giannis doesn't, and Bam isn't really a force offensively. Giannis is not a three-point shooter, and neither is DeMar DeRozan. Now, DeMar DeRozan in Cleveland would be a lot better because they've got plenty of three-point shooters, and he can complement those guys. And if he wants to win a title, there he goes. Now, if he's going to get a little bit of a richer contract here, hey, why not? His teammate Kyle Lowry will give him all the tips on how to steal money from the Miami Heat. I mean, listen, if you overpaid Lowry, why not? Let's bring DeRozan over and overpay his old ass too. Not a problem. One, the math doesn't jive. And two, you're not really going to win anything. And if you're DeMar DeRozan, yeah, Cleveland kind of looks like it, like the whole thing with LeBron. It's Cleveland or Philadelphia. Why would you go to the Warriors? And why would you come to Miami? You're not going to win shit there. Only delusional Heat fans and local writers that don't want to tell you the truth. You know, that's the problem with this show. It's a huge problem with this show. Truth is like poetry. You guys know that? Truth is a lot like poetry. And most people hate fucking poetry. People don't want to hear the truth. So they'd rather you actually, actually talk about fluff. And the chance, if we get DeMar DeRozan, and they'll start writing like, well, if DeMar DeRozan, Spo's a hell of a coach, and anything can happen. And then when it doesn't happen, they'll tell you, well, it wasn't a good combination, all that. So they'll carry you through the bullshit and lead you through the bullshit, and then, you'll fall for the bullshit. Here on this show, we give you the truth, bro. And it's like poetry. And sadly, you're going to hate it. And I know, because that's all I've ever experienced in my 30-something years of telling the truth. When Vontae Davis got drafted and they asked me, are there any issues with him? I said, yeah, he's got maturity issues. And I had like 2,000 fans right in front of me, all pissed off at me, including, Jimmy Cephalo, Joe Rose, Jim Mandich, the entire Dolphin executives behind me, because I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to give all the praise and everything, and it's all good, and every draft pick is great and all that. So they come to me and I give you poetry. I'm sorry. And I know you hate poetry and you also hate the truth. That's just kind of the way it goes. So I'm not going to bullshit you. DeMar DeRozan coming here. Sure, dude, whatever. You're not winning shit. If selfishly all you're looking for is a slightly better team than a play-in, you've got it. Go for it. But if it's about winning a title, yeah, you're nowhere near a title. And you're not going to win one in this unless everyone gets injured in front of you. That happens, then maybe. But DeMar DeRozan, yeah, this. Listen, I'm just looking forward to the season because they're going to be better. But I'm not. I don't have real high expectations for the team. I think it'd be silly to have high expectations for the team. Listen. Yesterday there was a 6-team trade that Chris old ass Middleton ends up with the Wizards, and I'm like, thank God he ends up with the Wizards and not with the Heat. Thank the Lord. Wow. So I'm glad that the Cavs are part of the mix because hopefully DeRozan doesn't really end up here because it ain't going to be anything real sexy. Let's see what happens to playing great defense and take the easy shot. Problem is, if you have people that are effective shooting threes, the math just does not jive. You can't hit twos and they're hitting threes. So, yeah, Jeff, they're going to have to play great perimeter defense. If you can do that and limit the threes, then, okay, you can probably fight your way through. But it's really hard in today's NBA with the pace to live off of defense. It's so hard. You're going to kill yourself. And I don't know if teams are going to be that good. And I know the Heat aren't because you're just getting older. Older teams aren't going to be able to play that kind of defense at this pace. That's why. That's the only thing that I have an issue with. That's right, Stephen Harris. You can't handle the truth. Big O, it was pretty cool to see you on the Finn's Faithful podcast yesterday. Great show. Those guys do a great job. Yes, they do. Those guys are excellent. Jason and George, good people. And whenever they ask me to come on, I am always more than willing to come on and have some fun and talk some Dolphins football and talk a lot about the stuff that we've talked about, here on the show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can send in your questions, comments, insults. Let's do a little music, huh? Why don't we start doing a little birthdays today? Who was born today? Musicians, famous people, politicians, actors. We start off with Jamie Cook, born in 1985 on this date from the Arctic Monkeys. He is the guitarist. David Kennedy, guitarist and songwriter, member of Boxcar Racer. Neil Mavers, drummer with the Laws, the Liverpool band. There she goes again. He has some voice like that. It's like scratchy. Anyway, 1970 on this date, Beck was born. The American singer, songwriter, producer, multi-instrumentalist, Beck David Campbell. Joan Osborne, born in 1963, the American singer, songwriter. Graham Jones, guitarist for Haircut 100, born in 1961. Country singer Toby Keith, singer, songwriter, record producer, and actor. Andy Fletcher, with the amazing band that is Depeche Mode, born in 1960. Also celebrating a birthday today is Penetti Gland, drummer for Lou Reed, and also the original bass guitarist for Lou Reed. drummer and original bass guitarist for Lou Reed, born in 46. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. We move over to other famous people born on this date. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means sadly they have passed away. And we start off with chemist John Pemberton, born in 1936. Oil magnate John D. Rockefeller, born in 1839. U.S. Vice President Nelson Rockefeller, born in 1908. Actor Marty Feldman, he's abnormal, they say, born in 1934. Actor Jeffrey Tambor, born in 44. He's still with us. He is 82. He always acts like a like a hysterical person. He does a great job of that always. If there's a role of somebody acting kind of hysterical or kind of out of his mind or crazy, they usually call Jeffrey for that. Ballet dancer Cynthia Gregory, born in 46, she's 80. Chef Wolfgang Puck, born in 49, 77 today. Actress Angelica Houston, born in 51, she's 75. Actor Kevin Bacon, let's dance, born in 58, he's 68. Musician Toby Keith, born in 61. Actor Michael Weatherly, Denozo, born in 68, he's 58. Actor Billy Crudup, born in 68, he's 58. Comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, born in 73, he's 53. Actor Milo Ventimiglia, born in 77, he's 49. Actress Sophia Bush, born in 82, she's 44. Actor Jake McDormand, born in 86, he's 40. Actor Jamie Blackley, born in 91, 35. Actor musician Maya Hawke, born in 98, 28. And actor musician Jaden Smith, born in 98, 28. All right. Those are folks born on July 8th. Now we move over to what happened in music history on July 8th, and we start off in 67 with the Monkees. They started a 29-week tour with Jimi Hendrix Experience as their supporting act. Hendrix was dropped 6 shows later after being told his act was not suitable for the Monkees audience, which consisted mostly of teenage pop fans. Like I said, I would have loved to go to those concerts. Would have been awesome just to see that. Those girls must have been scared out of their minds. In 70, the Everly Brothers show started an 11-week primetime slot on ABC TV. It began as a summer replacement in 1970 for the Johnny Cash Show. In 72, Bill Withers started a 3-week run at the U.S. singles charts with Lean on Me. And I bought the K-Tel record that had Lean on Me. Who else? Who else bought that K-Tel record that had Lean on Me on it? Huh? I know I did. In 78, after 6 months at number 1, Saturday Night Fever soundtrack was bumped from the top spot of the album charts by Jerry Rafferty, City to City, which included the singles Way Down in Baker Street and Right Down the Line. Great song, too, man. He was on a roll there. In 95 on this date, TLC started a 7-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Waterfalls, the group's signature song and second U.S. number 1 song that was written by band member and rest in peace Lisa Left Eye Lopes with Marquez Etheridge and Organizer Noise for TLC's second album, Crazy Sexy Cool. The song tackles issues of illegal drug trade and HIV/AIDS. BMG noted that Waterfalls was the first number 1 song ever to reference AIDS in one of its verses. The song's music video reflected its socially conscious lyrics with $1 million budget. The video was an MTV staple, credited for giving the single much of its success. In 97, Smash Mouth released their debut album, Fush You Mang, and it features Walking on the Sun. In 2016, Drake was number one on the U.S. album charts with his fourth studio album, Views with Views. Drake joined Adele, Michael Bublé, and Taylor Swift as the only artist in 2010s to have an album remain at number one on the Billboard 200 for 6 consecutive weeks. Louis Jordan, by the way, the saxophonist known as King of the Jukebox, was born on this date in 1908. Jazz, blues, and rock and roll pianist Johnny Johnson, who played with Chuck Berry, was born today in 1924. Stevie Lawrence of Steve and Edie was born today in 1935. He passed away in 2024. Rafi is 78. Ben Jelen is 47. Sky Ferreira is 34. And that is what happened today in music history. All right. There you go. Good stuff. Appreciate you all out there as always. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Jaybird says, I bought all of the K-Tel records back in the day. I had a couple of them because, the commercial would come on and they'd tell you all the songs that are in the commercial. And you're like, yo, dude, I can go get that record and I have a whole bunch of hits on that record. Let's go. Let's rock. So you beg your mom to order it or go buy it at the store. I think there was a combination, right? I think you could order it or buy it all. Like it was sold like what, at Woolworths and Walgreens and places like that. J. Byron's, Jefferson's, Zayre's, JCPenney. Not at Car Jewel Records on Coral Way. No, they weren't selling K-Tel records there at Car Jewel. Only those that were hardcore dance know what the hell in Miami know what the hell I'm talking about when I mention Car Jewel Records. That's a legendary place in Miami back in the day. All right, what else do we have to talk about that is interesting out there? By the way, I really don't understand. I mean, it's hard to understand anything that the Browns do for, I don't know, that you might think makes sense or something along those lines. But they constantly are doing some stupid things. And Shedeur Sanders, I don't understand this. Now they're talking about Shedeur Sanders goes from bad to worse amid trade talks. Says with the QB battle between Watson and Sanders still underway, trade rumors around the rookie are refusing to fade. Now an NFL analyst has thrown another wrench into the Sanders uphill fight. The biggest flaw in Sanders' game remains the same. His instincts isn't to play on time with the offense, it's to play on Shedeur's time, wrote Nick Baumgardner from The Athletic. Says NFL quarterbacks face a brutal clock. They have 2.5 seconds to read an entire progression. If the QB pops too early, the routes aren't ready. If the QB pops too late, they miss the open man. So instead of coming up on time and confidently throwing the ball, he hitches, stalls, and then freaks out. Not sure if he wants the shot over those not to take a shot over those linebackers, or takes too long to decide, ultimately leading to a sack. Last season, Sanders had 23 sacks in just 7 starts, posting a 9.79% sack rate, the 4th worst in the NFL. His 15% sack rate, his 3rd and 4th downs rank 163rd and 184 historically NFL QB debuts. Now, here's my problem with this report. We're talking about a second-year quarterback, and this guy wants a finished product. Okay, first of all, this butt nose here doesn't realize you're playing on a horrible football team. That's one. Horrible football team, just not a good situation for any quarterback to actually survive. Plus, you're a rookie. It took Drew Brees to the 4th year for the light to go on. It took Terry Bradshaw a few years till the light went on and he figured it out. It took Rich Gannon like 7 years or 8 years or 9 years or something till he finally like figured it out. And this idiot wants Sanders to figure everything out after 7 starts. Not even a full season, 7 starts. So, of course, how do you throw on time when you don't have a great offensive line and everything isn't perfect? Everything has to be on perfect in order to throw on time. And is he going to hesitate? Yeah, they all do pretty much. Unless you're like Dan Marino or something that you have this fearless thing in you, and plus you have a gun and all those kind of things. But when you don't have a gun, which he doesn't have a gun, that you're what's it called, an anticipatory thrower, you're an accuracy thrower, those kind of things, just like Drew Brees, just like Bob Greasy, just like many others in the past, Joe Montana, all those, you have to adjust to the game speed and your arm and how you got to throw it and when you got to throw it. You don't figure that shit out in 7 starts. And this is what I hate about the offseason. This is what I hate about stupid reporting. This is what I hate about people that don't have any kind of logic whatsoever, any common sense. You got to give the kid some time to grow. You're not going to grow it in 7 games. And now we've got to hope that the new coach, is it Todd Monken? That the new coach is a good coach and can create a good atmosphere for him, that they have a line and they have a running game and real receivers and everything that you can count on. I don't know. And this is an organization that took a chance on a rapist. And they're still thinking of trying to start the rapist. So this is a terrible environment. This is a team that took Shedeur Sanders when they didn't have to, when they already took one in the 3rd round. They already had quarterbacks, and they kept taking quarterbacks. This is a stupid organization where I can't be blaming the quarterback after 7 games or criticizing him like he's a finished product. What that is lazy reporting and desperate to get clicks. So let me write a negative story about a kid that is still learning how to play the game. But all of a sudden, I've got to give up on him and trade him and say he's hopeless because he took a bunch of sacks his first year under a horrible situation and a terrible team and a rookie quarterback. I don't know, man. Maybe it's my experience. Maybe I've been at this for a long time. Maybe I see things differently than some of these other people that are out there. And then again, maybe I'm not desperate for clicks. Maybe I just like spewing poetry. Just telling you the truth. And the truth is, you cannot judge Shedeur Sanders on 7 games. You cannot judge Shedeur Sanders on 7 games in a horrible situation. And anybody that's doing that or making any kind of judgments or any kind of closure on it, you're either stupid or you've got some bias. Not exactly sure where Sir Yankit Das, I guess that's the name of the writer. I don't know where that dude lands. Maybe that's even a fake name and that's AI bullshit or something like that. I have no idea. But what I do know is that that guy doesn't know football. And that guy doesn't understand the quarterback position and how difficult it is for the quarterback. That I can tell you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can send in your questions, comments, insults. We always appreciate them. As always, thank you all out there. Let's see what we got here. Big O, give me the best Dolphins rookie of the year. I mean, I can go with Marino. Jake Long was a beautiful rookie, bro. You know, he made a transition right away. that was just absolutely awesome. Zach Thomas was also a great freaking rookie, dude. There's some guys that we've had that have made the transition right away, and were just absolute freaks. The thing that with Marino that sucked was that it was like halfway through the season in that Raiders game. But again, that's old school style. Shoes wanted to give him some time to see things and all that. But Dan was such a freak, bro. They don't make them. They just don't make them like that. God, I'm so blessed. I lived the '80s. So blessed. Anyway, Browns are the epitome of dysfunction. They wrote the manual. Amen. Ray Grullon, howdy. Oh, the Brownies are the worst on judging QBs. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. You wish they would have drafted Sanders? Would have been nice. Check it in from LA. Thank you. Think Blue Dodgers. Anthony Kyle Campos. I'm putting an APB now for orange microphone. It got stolen, my theory. The orange microphone. What's that mean? Oh, is the orange cover? Is that what you're talking about? F the wins. All I hope for this year is Patrick Paul's progression. Oh, Patrick Paul progressed last year, dude. I think you're talking about Caden Proctor's progression is what you're talking about. Patrick Paul, I don't worry about Patrick Paul or Aaron Brewer. I want to know if Caden Proctor can play left guard, if Savanaya is going to really settle in at his natural position of right guard, and can Austin Jackson stay healthy? Not if he can play. That's ridiculous. I know Austin Jackson can play and play at a high level. Austin Jackson's problem is staying healthy. So I would think it's Caden Proctor that I would. I'm not worried about Patrick Paul at all, my brother. Not at all. He is an absolute stud, Think Blue Dodgers. Let's see. Andrew says if Yatil Green stayed healthy, yeah, but that's the problem with that one, Andrew. Expecting Yatil Green to stay healthy was asinine, and that's the reason why poetry happens on my show. When Jimmy Johnson drafted Yatil Green, I openly laughed at Jimmy Johnson. I openly called him an idiot for drafting Yatil Green because my beats in those days were the Dolphins and the Canes. And the Heat, too. I would do the Heat also. But I would go to all the Canes games. And I watched Yatil's entire career. And I had luxuries that they don't even have nowadays. Back then when I was the media member in the Canes, you could go down on the field for all four quarters. And the Orange Bowl, the press boxes were so brutal. You were way up there in the sky, close to the clouds, and everybody looked like it looked like you were watching a metal board of football players just running around because you're like really tiny. So I would actually go down and be down there for all four quarters. And I got to see a lot more when I'm down there because I got to see the players come off the field, the interaction between the coaches and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that left an impression on me was watching Yatil's, fragile ass come off the field constantly at UM. Tweaking this, tweaking that, always, dude. And I would look over and I was like, man, this guy's always injured. And so then that's when I spewed the poetry on draft day. Once again, because it's what I've done for 30-something years. I just don't bullshit. Oh, we drafted a UM player, and I'm a Dolphins fan. That's it. It's the best pick in the world, and it's going to happen, and it's awesome. No, it's not. Because that's not what I do. And I just told everybody, this is a terrible pick. Yatil Green's always injured, and Jimmy Johnson's full of shit if he thinks he's just going to tell him, no more pull this and pull that, because that's what he did in the press conference to Yatil. No more pull this. Like he had some kind of magic potion or pixie dust or some shit like that, and he was just going to all of a sudden make your teal green be durable. No, you're not. And you didn't, you moron. But it's the same moron, Jimmy Johnson, that drafted Larry Shannon and then told us that Larry Shannon will be as good as Randy Moss. Same moron. He gets no breaks here. He will never get a break here. Because we spew poetry. The others, they just kiss Jimmy Johnson ass. But they're not willing to talk about the poetry that's involved in it. You know, that's the sad part. By the way, here at Toyota of Hollywood, they do have the BZ. You know, I got the Prius right here, which is obviously what's it called? A hybrid, right? But they've got the BZ, which is the EV out here, and they've got the BZ XLE, which has 288 mile range, but it has 335 horsepower. The BZ has 314 mile range, but 221 horsepower, and it's front wheel drive. The XLE is all-wheel drive, so it depends on where you live and what kind of vehicle you need. Come on out here and check it out at Toyota of Hollywood. They've got the Corolla Cross Hybrid. They've got the regular Corolla Hybrid, the Prius plug-in hybrid, the CHR also hybrid, total driving range of 267 miles. The RAV4 plug-in hybrid. So if you're looking for a hybrid, you're looking for an electric car, come on out here. See my guy Herbie Lopez at 1841 North State Road 7 here at Toyota of Hollywood. They will take care of you, man. Good people at Toyota of Hollywood. Let's see what else. I'm starting to get the feeling Big O doesn't like Jimmy Johnson. I just think he's overrated. That's all. I think the whole Messiah bullshit that people make up, he had a great run in Dallas. He underachieved here in Miami, both with the Canes and especially with the Dolphins. But he underachieved. Those are facts, dude. And if he was so special, he would have won with Miami. He would have turned it into a winner. He would have made them special. You know, if you're special as a coach, you would have made them special, but you didn't. And so that's why. So I'm willing to spew the poetry on Jimmy Johnson. Others aren't. That's all. Because they want to get an interview. I don't care. I'm not worried about an interview with Jimmy Johnson. They say that the Viking competition at quarterback could get testy. And I'm here for it, I got to say. I am all for testy competition for the Minnesota Vikings. So they say Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy, the battle could get really ugly because McCarthy was considered the future of the franchise. Meanwhile, Kyler Murray is trying to resurrect his career. So one NFL analyst thinks that McCarthy and Murray quarterback competition is going to get ugly. The NFL is pretty unforgiving at times. It's a do or die for these players, and that means competition could get aggressive. In a piece, Carter Bond from CBS Sports says the Murray-McCarthy situation may get contentious. He called it a work in progress and said the quarterback competition could get ugly. His references earlier in the offseason when McCarthy described the relationship as like two guys in a classroom, adding that he sits on one side, I sit on the other side, and it's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us. Neither is owed the number one quarterback role, but whoever loses it will have the reason to be discontented, says Bonds. Murray is a 7-year starter who at best produces among the league's top half of signal callers. McCarthy, in his recent first round pick, who has arguably not received a fair shake due to injuries. Plus, I don't think McCarthy's that good. But McCarthy will be pissed if he doesn't get the job. And then Kyler Murray is going to think that his career is over. That's the way he's going to look at it. Man, if I can't beat this guy out, and this was a job that is set up for me to win, what do I got? So desperation is going to set in. That's going to be fun. This is what happens when you have no quarterback. And not to pick on him, but I got to have fun with it. I got nothing but love for Omar, but whether he was on this show or not, and when he was on this show and said crazy, stupid shit, I called it out, and I will call out crazy, stupid shit on, when he says it, no matter what. You don't have quarterback competitions in the NFL. The only time you have quarterback competitions is when you have the Minnesota Vikings, that you have no quarterback, that nobody is considered a number one because they're both either failed or not meeting expectations. And so now you have to have a competition to see which one of these mediocre quarterbacks is better than the other, because neither one of them is considered a good quarterback. Because if they were a good quarterback, would there be competition? No. There's no competition. That's just some stupid shit that Omar comes up with just to have a talking point and just to stir crap up. Because that's what, that's actually what's good for this business. Come up with stuff that makes no sense. Come up with things that, there's no basis for it behind, but it's crazy. It's ridiculous. And that's what gets you clicks, and that's what gets people going, and that's what, cranks them up, and all that. Stupid comments gets people cranked up. So it's perfect for that. Quarterback competitions don't exist in the NFL. When they do, that means your team sucks. There's a reason why ESPN, we read it yesterday, right? What were the rankings? Minnesota was the 22nd best roster, the 10th worst. In other words, obviously the Dolphins were the worst. Minnesota was number 10. So, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Send in your questions, comments, insults. We always appreciate it. However it is you support our show. Bitcoin, by the way, is at 62,316. The Dow, obviously, the market is hurting because, what's going on in Iran, which, if you thought you were going to control those psychos, there's a reason why nobody has tried what this idiot did, because they knew that those crazy people this is what they want, chaos. And we have fed right into it, which is beautiful. Anyway, the Dow is down 582 points. The S&P is down 223 points. The NASDAQ is down a point. SpaceX is at 148. We're in the 140s. Still not buying yet. We got more to go. I'm not getting suckered and buying at 180 and at 200 and at 220 like all these other suckers did when the IPO came out, because they don't get this thing. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know anything about this. I'm just guessing that SpaceX was going to go down from 220. Okay, when it was up in 200, I was telling you it's going to tank. That was just a pure guess, and I got lucky. Just want you all to know that. I don't know anything about investing at all. I don't follow it. I don't know anything. Just want you to know that. I am Sergeant Schultz here. I know nothing. I see nothing. So do your own homework, just in case. Don't we play Minnesota this year? I'm not sure, Rosendo, actually. I'd be lying to you if I told you I know the schedule off the top of my head. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, let's see. Remember when Sleepy Joe was president? The Strait, yeah. Well, I mean, the Strait was open when Trump was president, and then he went and, now he's got to give him money just to talk. It's crazy. It is what it is, man. What are you gonna do? We keep putting terrible presidents in there. You give me Trump and Biden. It's crazy. It's just insane. This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're at. All right, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Do you want a crazy story that I saw today? And a ballsy story on top of all of that. Maybe ballsy in many ways if you're listening to this, but Spurs play-by-play man Jacob Toby may be in some hot water now over alleged infidelity. A story posted on Toby's Instagram account earlier this week made headlines for seemingly serving as a confession that he was cheating on his longtime girlfriend with Lauren Waters, the sister of Spurs shooting guard Lindy Waters III. So the post said, "This is my girlfriend of 6 years," the post read, along with a photo of Toby with his girlfriend. "But I cheated on her with Lauren Waters. So feel free to continue following me if you really think I'm a good guy, because I'm not." So fans seem to believe the post was uploaded by Toby's girlfriend, who may have gotten access to his Instagram account to expose the 29-year-old broadcaster. The account posted a follow-up story of what appeared to be a photo booth printouts of Toby and Lauren Waters kissing, captioned, "Me and the new girlfriend." So she even got pictures of him and her. The supposed hacker also inserted a caption that read, #cheater, on a recent post of Toby singing the national anthem during a Spurs game. All posts and captions were eventually taken down. Last month, Toby announced that he had signed a multi-year extension to remain the Spurs play-by-play man for the foreseeable future. While the post remains mere speculation, questions could be raised about Toby's future with the team. My man is banging a player's sister. I mean, the good thing is it's not a player's girlfriend or a player's wife. It's just a player's sister. But, dude, you have a girlfriend, like a longtime girlfriend. You're a public person. And your longtime girlfriend has access to your social media. Wow. Holy shit, dude. I read that story and I was like, okay, this is crazy stuff right here, dude. This is one where things are uncomfortable in the building. Hey, Toby. General manager calls you over. "Hey, Toby, you're supposed to be calling the play-by-play here. You're not supposed to be feeling out the players', families here. We got to have, a separation of church and state here, buddy. Plus, you have a girlfriend. Okay, if you're going to go out with her, okay, but you have a girlfriend and now she outs you and this whole, oh, man. Can you fire somebody for this? Because she's not an employee of the team. Now he is an employee of the team, and this is a bad look, but you're going to fire somebody for infidelity. Now, can you do that? Because you're not banging somebody that works there. You're banging somebody related to somebody that works there. And if you're cheating on your girlfriend, that's not really the Spurs' problem, is it? It's really an odd one. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, but it is a crazy one. I got to tell you, that one is Well, speaking of crazy, we're going to go completely Gnarls Barkley on you now. Brandon Ayuk, the former Arizona State wideout, he's still on the 49ers left squad list, meaning the team can essentially stash him without paying or a penalty. He would have to apply for reinstatement to collect his salary and force the team's hand to move on from him, either with a trade or a release. However, Brandon crazy ass Ayuk just shared on a lengthy social media post that he won't do it because he just doesn't want to deal with the Niners. So he's just going to leave millions on the table. He says, under this scenario, the team continued to lie to the media fan base, acting as if that was not a decision that was made in July, continually saying that I would be returning despite the fact that I told them on numerous occasions that I would not be. With the severity of my injury and guarantees no longer on the table, that was not an option. We are in year one of the date in which they made the decision to void my guarantees due to missed rehab. Yet, they have the footage and the GPS information that shows I reached markers that I never hit before in the injury, all before the required. Well, either way, it's just for me to continue reading this crazy ass explanation just doesn't really make any sense. So with this decision, he essentially is allowing the Niners to keep him on the left squad list without paying him. Doesn't matter what you think, you crazy bastard. Go in there and take the money from them and force them to release you. Don't be stupid. Create more of a problem where they release you and they pay you. This guy could learn so much from Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa got to a point where he was tired of Mike McDaniel, tired of the joke that is this organization. And he basically was saying, yeah, dude, I'm done with these people. So you pay me and I'll get out of here. I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to tell you I'm leaving. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to stay home. No. You do the smart thing. You force the hand like they did. They paid him and he leaves. That's it. That's what Brandon Ayuk should do. But when you're batshit crazy and you can't figure out what common sense is, this is what happens. And sadly, this is a bad situation because this guy is just not all here. That's the real problem with him, that he's just not all here. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. The World Cup has itself a credibility issue, dude. What they did with the U.S. was dirty because once a president gets involved and then, FIFA president's involved and all, no matter what they tell you, which was wrong, it was a bad call. I get it. You're righting a wrong. But in this case, normally that never happens. It's just something that's rare. And it only happened, you and I know, because there was pressure from the president. And then you allowed a politician to change the outcome of a sporting match that should not have anything to do with it. And in the end, karma bit him in the ass because having Bolongun on the pitch or not did not help. It did not make a difference. You weren't even close to being on the pitch with Belgium. You didn't deserve to be on the pitch with Belgium. They were way better than you, with or without Bolongun. And then yesterday, Egypt does commit an obvious penalty, but it's not called. And then after, it turns into a goal. And then you go from the VAR and you reverse it because you went all the way back to the penalty, something you don't do. And then it shows like favoritism for Argentina, favoritism for the United States. And Egypt is pissed, and they should be. Even though their guy committed the penalty, and you should have called the penalty there and stopped the play there and start replaying from there, and maybe no score happens. I get it, but right is right and wrong is wrong. And that was wrong. And I could argue that Egypt outplayed Argentina yesterday, dude. They flat out outplayed Argentina. They deserve more respect than that. And they should be humongously pissed about what happened. Because it just, as Michelle put it also, the optics. And you've always been a corrupt organization. Everybody has looked at FIFA as corrupt. Guess what you just did? What you did was you verified everything that everybody else has about you, that you are corrupt. Crazy, man. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. The NFL, by the way, has created something that is going to be, dude, insanity. Like the opening bell at the stock market. All of a sudden, there's all kinds of stuff going on at the opening bell, and people are starting to make quick deals right away and things like that. When somebody opens the doors at a stadium or an arena for a concert, and people are rushing in to go on the field or on the stage and get up close because they want to get the best of the general seats and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about, when it's a frenzy. The Black Friday, everybody's standing in line and they open the doors and people just rush in. That's going to happen in the NFL. In 2027, this is crazy, the NFL released part of its 2027 offseason league calendar. And on Monday, it included on that calendar was a significant change how the league has done things for many years. According to Tom Pelissero, the league's free agent negotiating window, which is better known as the legal tampering period and lasts for 2 days, will open on March 9th. Well, that window will open just 1 day after the conclusion of the NFL scouting combine. The week where there is more tampering than anything that ever goes on in free agency, in that period, and all that, the legal tampering period, the amount of tampering that goes on the week at the combine is insane, dude. Every time I was at the combine, I would be hearing about shit that was going to happen way before. Every single time. I'd be out late at night, hanging out with some people, drinking, smoking cigars. And sure enough, I'd hear, oh, yeah, this is going to happen in a couple of weeks. Now they're doing it the next day. That window will open just 1 day after. So the NFL Combine ends on March 8th. 1 day later, free agency begins, the first time in many years without a 1 week gap in between. That means there won't be much rest for NFL executives and agents who will have to quickly pivot from the Combine and draft into free agency. It also means there might be even more tampering going on at the Combine than normal. You think? Oh man, they're not worried about cheating or tampering or anything like that. I mean, what else is going to happen? Now we're going to hear about those deals during the combine. The day before, the last 2 days of the combine, stuff's going to come out. That's. If the NFL wants to create more headlines, they just figure out ways to create more headlines. And this is a beautiful way of creating headlines, coming off the combine and then going right into the craziness of free agency. This will make the combine even more of a buzz. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Keyword there has been unfreezing, as I said, releasing. Yes. Yeah. So what? Who cares? It's still money. They're still getting it. So what? Obama unfroze 1.7 billion, and they unfroze from Qatar 6 billion already for them just to start talking. It doesn't matter. And the 300 billion, that's coming from us. That ain't coming from the Gulf countries. That's a bunch of bullshit. Anybody that believes that, I got a bridge and the keys to sell you. You think we're going to start a war? We're going to create the problems for the entire world, for what's going on in the Asian countries with all the problems that they're having with fuel now, okay? And then we're going to terrorize the Gulf with our decision, and then we're going to make them pay for it? Come on, dude. I mean, the Gulf countries, they're probably already pissed with us, but they'll completely dump us if that's the case. Those 300 billion will be coming from us one way or the other. All we did in Iran is we went to the shooting gallery. You go to a shooting gallery and you shoot, and you got to pay the guy for a shooting gallery, right? That's what we did. We treated Iran like a shooting gallery, and now they're going to get billions of dollars for it so they can repair. That's insanity. It's basically a shooting gallery. That's what we did. It's insane. You go to the shooting gallery, you unload your gun, there you go, you got to pay them. Now they're going to get money for that. Yeah. And by the way, all that money will go to the people, not to the IRGC. No, not at all. No. It'll go to make the people better, those $300 billion. Yeah, man. Yeah. Can't wait for those Iranian people to just, bear the fruits of the war, that things are going to be so much better for them. We're real geniuses here. Let's see what else. I think Tua has the same agent as Bobby Bonilla. I like that. That's good stuff. That's a funny one. All right, folks, we are out of here. We appreciate all of you. We thank, of course, the great Herbie Lopez and all the people out here at Toyota of Hollywood and Mr. Zen, making it nice and easy for us to broadcast here every single month. Appreciate all of you out there as always. We shall see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. All right, we're not on the road tomorrow. Friday, we'll be at Acura Pembroke Pines. But tomorrow, we were at Acura last week, right? No, we're at Acura this week. That's right. It's Acura this week. So we'll be at Acura this week, and then and we'll have some fun. But tomorrow we'll be back at 10 a.m., same time, same place, same bet channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.